Have you ever thought about giving your dreams a cozy little home? In today's tutorial, we are crafting whimsical house tags that are more than just paper. They are a place to write your dreams, hopes and memories. If that sounds interesting to you, grab your scissors and let's turn scraps into something magical. Welcome back to 100 Tags in 100 Days. Today we are crafting something truly special. Whimsical house tags that are perfect for journaling. They are easy to make, full of charm and the perfect way to give your dreams a little home of their own. At the beginning of the 100 Tags in 100 Days project, I cut down 60 small tags like a 3x4 inch size and 40 large tags 4x6 inch. And today we are using 5 of the smaller ones and they all have these backgrounds. Today we will add something special. We will add this coffee dyed marbled paper. I will link to a previous video of mine where I show you how to do this marbled paper. I like the color combination. It fits so beautifully to this more rough backgrounds of these tags. And yes, with the decorating, let's see how we go. I took out of some of the coffee dyed ledger paper, music sheets and some dictionary pages, but we will see how we go. We definitely will use coffee dyed paper to back all of the tags and of course colorful decoration snaps. I had some left over from a journal I made before and yeah, maybe some ribbon and definitely some stamping at the end. And also if you stay to the end, I will give you some tips and tricks how to journal your dreams so they have a better chance to become reality. But first things first, let's start by making the roofs for all of our whimsical houses. And I decided I'm using the marbled coffee dyed paper for all of the roofs. And I'm starting by tearing with the help of my metal ruler a couple of stripes and then I'm halving the stripes again so that I just have 5 pieces of marbled paper that have roughly the same size like our tags. So it's again roughly 3x4 inch. And you will see how we make the roofs for the houses out of it. I hope you like to craft with me and craft alongside me. Today's video is a little bit longer so that you can actually really see step by step how these houses unfold. If this is too slow for you, let me know in the comments, but you also can speed up your viewing speed if you like to. Of course, it's appreciated if you craft alongside me, but whatever suits you, whatever feels most comfortable for you to watch this video. I folded the roof tag or the piece for the roof in half and just see what I would like to do with that. I use glue stick or at least I start using glue stick to just glue this on the top of our tag. It makes it a little bit more sturdy to have it on the front and then fold it over and have it also on the back. It gives a little bit of sturdiness. This tag jumped onto my roof, so let's start with this tag. It already had a little bit of glue on it and so it's good to start with that one and just fold it over. Can you see here? Just folding it over and gluing it on top of each other. That's the start of the roof. And then with my bone folder pressing it all down very carefully so that I get all the air bubbles out but not destroying the marbled paper. It's normal coffee dyed paper. It's copy paper, and with that it's a thinner version. Here I'm using my tool with which I usually make tags, and just to have a similar size to the other one with this first one, I just used my number 3 here that I have used for my previous tags. And our first tag, the base of it, the start of it is done. Here you can see the roof of this house is done. And of course, let's do the next one in a similar fashion. Again, we start with the glue stick, just to get the glue stick down on the paper. And then we will fold it over again, but this time not in half. We can start here, and then when we have this side, on the other side, you can see you don't have to go half. You can just do a little bit so that it is nicely attached to your tag. But with that, you can change the height of the roof. And with that, they look more unique and individual, each one. Can you see the front is taller? The front of the roof is taller than the back. And this time I thought I will just cut off a larger piece. And you can see here, it's a very different shaped roof, but I like the variety in it. Here you can see that. With our next tag, what I would like to do, because before I did it horizontally, and here I would like to have it vertically, or the wider sides of this piece of paper to the sides. Of course, this is now a little bit wider than our tag, but I think it doesn't matter. It's like a proper house roof that is a little bit standing over the sides of the house, over the edge of the house. You will see it in a second. And again, a little bit of the tag attached to the roof, and then just folding it over on top here. And again, we have a completely different shaped roof. You could, if you like it like that, you could either leave it as a square, which would be, funny as well. But here I cut off again a little bit, and here you can see this is roof number 3. Then I decided with roof number 4, I would like to have a round roof, and I took like a round metal box. I used it as a sample to trace around with a pencil, and then used the pencil line to cut a perfectly round roof. But of course, it doesn't have to be perfect. We are making junk journaling tags, and you can also do all of this freehand. That's the beauty, that it is happening in the moment. And the last one I would like to have on an angle. And the only important thing, if you would do it on make it on an angle, is when you fold it over, that you fold it so that you have a rectangle, so that everything is covering on the other side, that you are gluing the sides together. You might see it when we turn it around. Just in a second. Yeah, pressing it all down with the bone folder. Here you can see it's a perfect rectangle, so that everything is glued shut. And then we shape the roof with our scissors in any form we like. We could again leave it like this, or I cut off a little bit more here to the side, or even a little bit more on the right. Yeah, but as I said, it's your creativity. Whatever you enjoy, whatever you like, that's what you do. There is no right or wrong. That makes it so therapeutical, I find, the crafting, that there is no right or wrong. There's nothing really to achieve. There's no creative police telling you you can't do it this way. It is completely up to you how you would like to do your tags. And these are the tags 16 to 20 in our series. And so, like, it is all about creativity and crafting and, yeah, watching things unfold. So, if we go from here, I think I would like to combine it with these colorful leftover scraps. I will link the junk journal at the bottom or at the top so that you can have a look how the entire junk journal with these scraps looks like. But for today, I have the leftover. I'm cutting them into squares, into circles, into triangles, and you can start playing around with them. You can start using them as windows, as doors, and I am allowing the paper itself to guide me or to inspire me. I will put a link to the paper in the video description. But now let's see. I'm cutting squares and triangles and circles, and I am just playing around with the little bits and pieces. This is my favorite part of decorating tags, just allowing the creative process to unfold. But at the same time, it can also be the most scariest part of the entire process, because with all the possibilities and all the options, it can feel so overwhelming. Here I'm using my circle punch, and again I'm following the paper. Like when I see a circle in the paper, then I'm punching it out for now. But of course you could also punch through the lines, or so there is again no right or wrong. Whatever feels creative to you. And what helps me is to really give myself permission, and that's what I love with junk journaling. Even in the word, for me it's so clear. There is no correct way or perfect way of doing it. At the end of the day, it's a junk journal, and that gives me so much permission to just play around and see, do I like it, do I not like it? Really trial and error. If you liked this video so far and you feel inspired, please let me know in the comment what you enjoy so far. Also give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done it before, if you would like to see the other upcoming tags and not miss out on any of the videos. But let's go back right now here to the decoration of the tags. I am using rectangles here for my doors, and often more like square ones or so for windows, or the round ones for the windows. But I think I might also like to use maybe a different shape for my door or my windows. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, I can put that there. Maybe here the paper already has half a circle, and cutting out here this circle adds a beautiful thing to the roof of that house. And I couldn't even imagine that before. Like I just found it when I had a look at the paper and it jumped out. And here this little triangle looks like a really quirky little window. Now that I'm seeing it in the video, it looks really, really cute, but I think I decided against it. I think I decided to use a square. But here you can see the playfulness of the process. Like you can, at the end of the day, you can take any shape and any size, just what speaks to you in that moment. I think I like the houses so far. Yes, I think I will clean up here a little bit, make a little bit of space and start, assembling my houses. For doing this, what I always like to do is, as a first step, going with Distress Oxide ink around all the little shapes. It creates a little bit of a border around them, that it darkens it, and I find it gives the entire thing a little bit more of a finishing look. And so I first go around each of my decorating item here with the Distress Oxide ink, and then I'm using craft glue to glue them all down. Okay, here, when I use my craft glue, inside this glue, often people ask about glue. This is half art glitter glue and half normal white PVA glue. I like the combination because just art glitter glue always for me has the problem that it is drying out so quickly that I am losing often part of my glue. But if I fill it into this little dispenser here, half, it's the perfect glue consistency for me to glue things down. It is strong on one hand, but it's not drying out that fast. Here, that's the first decorated house. And here we have a little jump to the last one. That is the last house to finish with the gluing and the Distress Oxide ink. Yeah, I'm very happy with how the houses look so far. But of course, we are not at the end. I promised you using a little bit of this lace ribbon. Here I have the cream color one and a little bit of dark blue. And they look nice at the bottom of the roof, or even as a window dressing, or here on top of the door, or at the bottom, like it's as before. There is no limit to your creativity. It's just playing around with all the options you have. You might also have some stickers or other things, like maybe adding like a button as a window. So as I said before, like there are no limits to your creativity. These houses are an expression of your inner world, of your creativity. Here I'm using the art glitter glue directly out of the bottle because I find whenever I use fabric, or in this case the lace here, it is a good glue to have. The strongness of the glue really holds it in place, and I really appreciate that. So here I don't use the watered down version. And so I will continue finishing here with the cream colored one. And I already like how it looks. But I think I would like to add something special. Let's see what else we can do. I have one house left. Never forget to put in the little needle to close the top of your art glitter glue. As I said before, it is otherwise drying. But what I thought, I'd take one of the scraps and make like little half circles that I cut out with my scissors, and add this at the top of this roof, because the color of the roof and the color of the wall of this house, I find they are not so different. And so I thought to have something colorful that is distinguishing the roof from the walls would be really nice, and especially in combination with a little bit of lace. That I really like. Just cutting off a little piece, and as I said before, using straight the art glitter glue to to first put down the lace, and I thought it really looks nice if I do this a little bit on an angle. Even though the roof is straight, if I glue it down a little bit on an angle, so it looks quirky, I find. Oh, I like that. And the art glitter glue is perfect for that. It is drying so fast that you can straight start cutting off the leftover from the ribbon. You don't have to wait until everything is dried. Okay, so where to go from here? What I would like to do is with a black fine liner, like a waterproof fine liner, going around all of my decorating items, the doors and the windows, just like scribbling around. It makes them stand out even further and gives them more of this ruggedy look, which I really appreciate. I like that. So with the tags before, I numbered all of my tags and I used this puncher for the tabs. You can see I'm folding over this little piece of coffee dyed paper and then punching two of these, I think they are called whale tail tabs, out of the coffee dyed paper. And in the tags before, in my videos before, I numbered all of them. And so I would like to do this again, but I'm not so convinced about the coffee dyed paper. It stands out a little bit too much for me. I could go around it with the Distress Oxide ink, but nevertheless, I'm not liking it too much. What I think I would like to do is using the leftover stripes of the marbled coffee dyed paper and trying that out. If I use my tab punch again, let's see how that looks. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. I like that. On one hand, the tab looks like the chimney of the house, but at the same time it gives me the possibility to number them, and it's number 16 to 20, and I used this stencil here before and the same like pen, like a black pen, just to go over this, or to go into the stencil here and have all of the numbers. I like that all the tags have the same style of numbers up to now. I really like it. It makes all of this in this series a little bit cohesive. And so again, playing around with the placement of the tab and using again my half and half glue to secure the tab on top of the tag. And here, let's see. I think I will finish them off step by step off camera, so you don't have to sit through me gluing all the tabs down. But maybe before I do that, I can finish this one tag. I go over with my Distress Oxide ink, and maybe I should do this before I go around all of the tabs with my Distress Oxide ink so that they stand out a little bit from the roof. Yep, I like that. I like that. That looks nice. And you can see in the middle, number 16, I did a square one. It looks a little bit different, but I thought it's a quirky anomaly in my houses that I really enjoy. So what I would like to do now is covering the back of the tag with coffee dyed paper. And the way I would like to do this is again just using my metal ruler and the tag as to show me where I have to tear this coffee dyed paper, like no measuring, nothing. You can really eyeball it. And then here on the top, I see how far I would like to go, let the coffee dyed paper go. And I make a little mark here for my pencil because I would like to hand tear this, because I really would like to have that edge rough. And then go over with my Distress Oxide ink around the sides, because I really would like it to stand out from the roof and really make it darker. Yeah, I like that. And so again, use my 50/50 glue to get it all down. What I would like after I have glued them all down is stamping some lines, because you might remember, oh no, I put the glue on the side where I already had the Distress Oxide ink, but I noticed, and so yeah, no problem, I can do this now and glue it all down. And then use my bone folder again to press it down and to get the air bubbles out. I have a little bit of glue on my table. Might be good to have some scrap paper underneath it so that I'm not gluing my entire table. I love to do that. And you can see here the rough edges on the top that I really like. And yet now just take my scissors and still some left over from before, and just cut the leftover paper from the back away, just cleaning it all up. And that's more or less my finished tag. Let's have a look. Yeah. Yes, what I would like to do now is, after I pressed it all down, what I would like to do is using my stamp. I have a stamp. I will, if I find where I got it from, again make a link in the description. The stamp has lines and squares to tick it off. And you might remember from the beginning that I promised you to give you some tips how we can make our dreams more likely to come true. The first one is write down your dreams. Once you crafted your house tag, take a moment to reflect on what you truly want, whether it's a goal, an experience, or even just a feeling you like to cultivate in your life. Write it down on the back of the tag. Be specific but gentle with yourself. This isn't about pressure, it's about possibilities. And for example, if you dream of starting a garden, write down what that garden looks like to you. The colors, the sense of peace it brings. Then as a second one, add visuals or symbols. If you are someone who loves colors or imagery, and I think many of us do, add little symbols or doodles that represent your dream. For example, if you dream of traveling, maybe sketch a tiny airplane or glue on a stamp for another country. These visual cues can make your dream feel even more alive. You could also include a small photo or a piece of fabric that reminds you of your goal. Before we come to tip number 3 and 4, let's have a flip through the little wonky houses. Number 16 here was the marble roof and the scalloped trim on the roof. And here on the back is the list for our goals and dreams. Here number 17 has the square windows and the cream colored lace, and of course again the list on the back. Then we have number 18 with half the circle. I love that one, I really do. And the blue lace ribbon and the square chimney. Then here we have the round roof, number 19, with the round door frame and the list again. And the last one here with the roof that hangs over a little bit, number 20, and the round windows. I don't know which one is my favorite. But before we come to an end, let's now go to tip number 3. Place it somewhere meaningful. Think about where this tag can live so it inspires you daily. Maybe tuck it into your junk journal as part of a page that feels personal or sacred to you. Or hang it somewhere visible on a vision board or your bedside table, or even inside a book you love to read. Seeing it regularly keeps your dream front and center in your mind. And I like to think of these little houses as reminders that our dreams are always within reach. And number 4 is reflect and revisit. Over time, revisit your house tags and check in with yourself. How does this dream feel now? Have you taken steps towards it? Sometimes your dreams evolve, and that's okay. You can always create new tags for new dreams. But the act of crafting and journaling is ongoing. It's an ongoing conversation with yourself. It's a way to stay connected to what truly matters to you. And that's the most important thing. For today, I hope you enjoyed yourself. And if you did, give the video a thumbs up. Bye for now and hope to see you soon.